Hello and welcome back everyone to Duel Masters on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries, and in this episode, Vivian, the widow, is attempting to tell Rebecca what she wants.
Never, Aunt Vivian.
Well, there is one small thing that you could help me with.
She would like a clicky pen.
Anything.
There are some pieces.
Yeah, do you have a mute button for those birds you got in the background? Because I could barely hear you two talking over the sound of just all this really convincing wildlife and fauna we have.
Bring them to me? Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Duplicitous.
Nope, and Vivian isn't evil at all, past Gurdette, I promise. Alright, so this is the deck editing screen. You'll notice it's very minimalistic. Like, it's relatively difficult to figure out. It's not honestly difficult to figure out what cards you're currently running, but it is difficult to figure out what cards you want to put into your deck and what cards you want to take out.
That's a Colossus.
Yeah, actually, that's a giant. I know that they're technically the same thing, but the game does specify giant as a creature type. So, and I think Colossus becomes a creature type later on.
Ms. Loodle.
Yep.
I've researched, and there is
Ms. Loodle knows how to use her noodle.
Yes, there are texts, but they are not available to the general public.
Why not?
Your ranking is too low. Perhaps if it were higher, I could be of more help to you.
Also, she has a fucking Atari shirt. Alright,
she does.
This is one of the two moments of the campaign where unfortunately, Rebecca had to go grind to get her rank up.
Let us duel.
And then, once we actually got our rank up, then we had to actually duel with Miss Loodle in order to get access to the forbidden section where all the Duel Master's secret lore is.
Huh? Doodle Bob.
Now, a majority of the campaigns actually have you pitting up against characters of other civilizations. But for Rebecca specifically, she ends up fighting a lot of people from the water civilization. I know that Trey ends up fighting a lot of people from the nature civilization too, but that's mostly because he's, you know, trying to prove himself as a nature duelist. I should go into the other characters. We have Rebecca, who is the second best duelist in the game and has like the second cleanest run, using her chosen civilization is water, but she pairs it with fire. Then we have our primary main protagonist, Rusty, whose primary civilization is fire and then pairs it with water. Yes, I know, it's very confusing. Then we have Trey, who is Rusty's brother, whose primary civilization is nature, and he pairs it with light. Then we have Luke, who is Rebecca's quote-unquote squeeze. Is that the right term, Mr. Cloud?
What? Like, not boyfriend, not senpai?
Like, they make googly eyes at each other a lot, okay? They're technically crushes, but, you know, it's a bit weird for a game that's focused on these 14-year-olds to, you know, have crushes.
Well, I mean,
at least in my opinion.
Well, first of all, let me just clarify that a squeeze is usually like, so it's almost like a pet, basically. Like I'm an important person. I make a lot of money. I hold political office. Everybody knows me. You're just around because everybody knows who I am and you love it.
Okay then. So yeah, they are quote unquote a couple, a coupling, if you will. Yeah, anyway, Luke is the actual best character in the game because he runs the second best civilization in light, and although he pairs it with darkness, it's very easy to replace out all of his bad dark cards for good light cards, since he only actually needs a couple of the better dark cards, specifically Locomotiver, Gregorian Worm, and Photocide.
Dude Joe.
Yes, come on, we've seen Dude Joe a bunch, okay? His name is Explosive Dude Joe, and he has the yo-yo of doom. It is awesome.
I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. 'Cause we're all dudes, hey.
And then we have
Die.
Then we have Flynn. I hate Flynn. Flynn is paired with Flynn's chosen civilization is darkness, and he has decided to pair it with nature. This is not honestly all that bad of an idea because it allows the darkness to actually cast its higher cost spells because nature is the color of big stuff and ramp. Ooh, we got an Aqua Jolter. Yay! The problem that Flynn has is that he has the absolute worst fucking campaign because he has to duel like 30 fucking times in order to replace most of his cards out. In order to get a decent deck. And then he has to replace his deck from his campaign with another deck in order to actually finish his campaign because of the spoilers that happen at the end. I really dislike Flynn's campaign.
The text held amazing information, Luke. Apparently,
I read them
the
off
person who
screen.
wins the tournament somehow helps the temple create connections to creatures.
Connections? Do you mean the card?
The temple?
Yes,
You mean there's a
that
world
is it.
outside of this campus?
The temple binds new creatures into cards after each tournament. Whoever broke
You know,
into the
just like
temple
Bakugan.
must have been trying to get access to new creatures.
Oh my god, they're looking for the Millennium items.
The creatures are free.
No,
Pieces
we're
have
looking
been
for
scattered everywhere.
we're looking for creature card parts. They're totally different. They're not going to steal our soul. Also, be sure after every major cutscene to go back to the deck building screen in order to figure out what your primary objective is.
I take it Lus is Luke?
Luke, yeah.
Yeah, I had to clarify spelling error. It's okay, I understood perfectly.
Pasquerda is still not very good at typing, okay?
Oh,
Nor is he very good at proofreading.
I actually really like this card artwork right here. It looks so very...
Yeah,
very...
Vampire Sylphie is a gorgeous fucking card. A majority of the card splashes that we see are absolutely phenomenal. Balbaro is really special. Bark Whip is really intimidating. Vampire Sylphie is really nice. Bolchok Dragon is really good.
A card piece? Yeah, I have one of those.
And Alcadeus is nice. Hey, Jaden.
Rebecca.
I'm so sorry.
Jaden, you ripped that directly from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
No, it's not Jaden. Sorry, it's
My
Jaylin.
name is Rebecca.
Okay, Rebecca. Let's calm down. Wanna duel?
I guess so.
I guess so. I mean,
Dueling him.
honestly, if you didn't offer a challenge, I wouldn't even know you were a selectable item on the menu.
Hey, Serra. Serra is the second most powerful fucking opponent in the entire game.
And she's only
She
our
and
fifth
Knight-
one.
Well, here's the thing. She and Knight are running the literal best combination of the I'm having trouble describing this. Serra is running a pure light deck, and not only is she running a pure light deck, she is one of the only opponents in the game that has multiple copies of that fucking thing, Holy Awe. Holy Awe is a 6-mana card that on shield trigger taps all of your opponent's creatures.
Yeah, that
This
would
means
suck.
that if you have Holy on the last slot in your shield, in the last slot of your shields, like is bound to happen with her every once in a while, she is automatically going to win that game. You don't even have to sit down and play the rest of it.
Yeah, because she's going to lock you up and then basically hit your life points for the win on that
Upwards
turn.
of 4 times.
Upwards of 4 times, and you can only get hit 5 times before you can't get hit anymore.
Right. Also, she has Melee. Melee is a fucking amazing card, and I really wish other colors got access to it. But unfortunately, they do not. Melee, when it's summoned for 3 mana and 1,000 power, taps 1 creature. You wouldn't think that this would actually be all that good, except, you know, it's Solar Ray with feet, meaning that it can attack multiple fucking times. Being able to attack multiple times with any creature is honestly really, really good.
Yeah. Yes, it is really good. In a game that doesn't count life points, it counts touches.
Mm-hmm.
It's also
Thankfully, Serra is mostly out of stuff that she can do right now because all she's got left is Screaming Sunburst. And Screaming Sunburst is a great goddamn nuke, but it, much like Holy Awe, just taps all of your opponent's creatures.
It's pronounced.
And one of the weird things about the AI is that it recognizes that Screaming Sunburst is not that good of a card. It's honestly a really great card, but it specifically has to be played in a winning manner, or else it's not really worth even running in your deck. she's never going to get Alcadeus out, for the record, because Alcadeus requires her to evolve one of the higher ranking angel cards, and she's not actually got any of the angels out at the moment. Angels themselves are extremely expensive. Alcadeus requires an angel in order to get played. I like Alcadeus in general because he... How to describe this? You know the spell Cold Wave from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Alcadeus does that on your opponent's on your turn for your opponent as long as it's out on the field. It's why Alcadeus is a card that you'll never actually get to see hit the field, because it's that goddamn powerful. It's a 6 mana evolution. But it evolves specifically from an extremely high mana cost creature type. So
at this point, we win the game.
Yeah, we win here. Unless, of course, that last card on hers is Holy Awe, and even then, we're still going to win. It's just going to be next turn.
Right, because she doesn't have the creature she needs in order to wipe us out next turn.
Right. Light is honestly a really good civilization at this point in the game's history, but it's not better than water. Like, the big problem that Light has is that its creatures are not as mana efficient as they're supposed to be, but they are more mana efficient than the equivalencies on the other from the other civilizations. Like, Law and Ethel specifically are really, really high power cards simply because they can run over the best blocker in the game, Dianork, and Revolverfish. Thing is, Dianork's a light monster, so unless you're playing against other light cards, Law's ability to run over Dianork doesn't really matter.
I lost.
Well, thank you so much for the card piece.
Hey, I was talking to her first.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, what happened to the other girl?
Your loss.
Our game.
Jody?
Oh yeah,
she's Jaelin and lost.
Hello. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just gonna go.
Alright, we got another copy
build
of
a better deck
Dujo,
now.
So let's take out Magma Gazer for another copy of Dujo, because I like Dujo. Magma Gazer is honestly a really good goddamn card, but it's a spell, and as it is a spell, I am terrible with it. I am not good with any of the damn spell archetypes in this game. Even Control specifically, I'm not really good with. I do love me some shield triggers though.
Yeah, I found one of those. Didn't really know what to do with it. Why? Do you want it?
I'll duel you for it.
I'll duel you for it.
Most of the character campaigns is us having the menu tell us where card pieces are, so that we can go and duel specific people for them. And it works for a majority of the campaigns. The only one that we get to sidestep a good portion of that is actually Luke's, and that's because his story is significantly better than everyone else's.
This or that, Mr. Gurnett, this or that.
Alright, so you'll notice that Evan is actually running a very spell-heavy nature water deck. He wants to, again, a good portion of the more difficult opponents are running extremely focused control decks. You'll see that Evan's got access to Mana Nexus, Brain Serum, Thought Probe, and Spiral Gate. Spiral Gate. If there's any spell card that I'm actually okay with using, it's Spiral Gate. And that's specifically because Spiral Gate allows me to, you know, directly control what the fuck is on my opponent's field.
Brain Serum.
There's Dawn Giant. Dawn Giant is Evan's win con, but you'll notice that he doesn't really have the ability to cast it, especially when he puts it into his mana, just to move it into his fucking shields with Mana Nexus. The AI is dumb. Like, very dumb.
Yeah, that can have a way of bringing down the game experience. But it's still early game. It's nice.
It is, but the AI doesn't actually change so long as you're on normal mode. Like, there isn't really a scaling difficulties for the campaign as you go through. It was a problem that a lot of the card games on consoles actually had at this point, because the AI didn't actually improve. They just got better decks. Tag Force 1 specifically has this problem, where if you actually want a decent challenge at the game without getting absolutely curb stomped, you fought the raw yellow students, because the raw yellow students had most of what you had access to. And yes, one of the big things about Rebecca's campaign that I find annoying is that we end up fighting Evan a shit ton. We fight Evan once here, we fight Evan once from the card tournament that we'll be going to later, and we fight Evan at the game card tournament as well. It's really fucking weird how often we end up fighting Evan. Mostly because Evan isn't honestly all that difficult because he's running such a slow deck. And, well, we already have a big answer to his Phantom Fish out, although he did just Spiral Gate it away for us.
I mean, he loses anyway, because...
no, he does not lose this turn. He's going to lose eventually, yes, but not this turn.
Right, because he's one hit away from getting taken out after we resolve our battle phase. Sick.
King Coral loses to Phantom Fish, and then King Coral hits a shield, and then Immortal Baron hits a shield, and then it is his turn.
Mate in 1.
Nah. I am not good at Mate in 1 scenarios, Mr. Cloud. I don't read the board as well as I'm supposed to. Alright. So, what is he going to spend his last turn doing? He's going to put Dawn Giant back into his mana pool. Back into his mana pool, and then summon Mighty Shouter and Aqua Jolter, right? Yep, there he goes.
Alright, so now he...
is dead.
He is?
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, he's got man coverage, though.
No, he doesn't.
I count...
Those aren't blockers, Cloud.
Right, tap creatures can't attack, and they tap when they block. Wow. Oh, okay. I guess we win.
Yep.
Yay.
The core system of Duel Master specifically can be a bit daunting to wrap your head around. Ooh, Candy Drop. I'll never use that. But once you are actually comfortable with it, it honestly is a really fun game experience. I just really wish it had fucking survived. It sadly did not, because it decided to compete with all the other collectible card games that were coming out and that were much more popular already. And in the next episode, we will continue on with Rebecca's campaign as we hunt down more card pieces. Be safe, everybody.